Hi, I'm Ann Toole, reporting for GameDev.net, and I'm interviewing today Morten Iversen, CEO and founder of ZeitGuyz.
Yes. Hello, pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your company and how you got started.
I started this company in 2005, in March 2005, and I started it with money I earned on royalties. I brought along royalties from my previous work. I'm the writer behind Hitman and Freedom Fighters. And I brought in a colleague of mine. We were two guys in 2005, had a bright idea, been working hard on that, and now we are 30 and we're ramping up rapidly and expected to be 40 within a couple of months.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit more about the game you're working on right now.
Yes. It's set in an alternate universe. It's sort of dystopic, utopian fantasy. It's an action-adventure taking place in a big city called Retrograd. And the technology is very backwards, if you like. No combustion engines, no computers, no cell phones, but a lot of advanced steam technology. And in this world, you are Davey Atman. The player is Davey Atman, a guy working for the government. Until one day you have a very unpleasant experience and you find out that, oops, somebody has traveled in time and changed the properties, changed the development of technology for this universe. That's why it looks so backwards. That's why it looks so retro-futuristic. So, the game evolves dynamically depending on the player choices, because the player can travel down through history of the city, change something in the past, and when he returns to the future, he sees the changes real-time, in-game, before his eyes. The setting is sort of like Blade Runner meets City of Lost Children, if that makes sense. And it's a sort of a Back to the Future kind of gameplay, a butterfly effect. That's what the key feature of the game is.
So what is the gameplay? Are you shooting things? What's going on?
Yes, it's a story-driven kind of game, but the story never gets in the way of the gameplay. It's supposed to be very fun. That's our focus. We want to have fun in this universe. We want to interact with all the mechanics of this universe. There are a lot of machines. You can push people in the machines. You can use the machines to climb onto the next level to escape your enemies. You can rip off steam pipes and scold your enemies. And of course you have a lot of exciting, very heavy-duty weapons in this kind of universe. And you can mount the vehicles. You can have Zeppelin dogfights, stuff like that. Yeah, there are steam-driven robots as well. We call them steam rigs. Big steam-driven robots that can drive around and cause a lot of mayhem. Yeah.
So this is an original IP. Can you talk a little bit about why you chose to do that with your own money, and what sort of challenges you've come across versus the licensed game?
Yeah, why did I choose that? Well, why do you choose to make games in this business? Because it's a passion. It's something you have an idea and it gets stuck in your head unless you do something about it. So I think the drive was, I had this idea that originally was more like a novel setup. So there was a conspiracy, somebody had changed stuff and things weren't the way they were supposed to be. And then I found out, what if somebody traveled in time and changed stuff and you could see things changing in real time? Oh, there's the gameplay already. So that was the sort of the drive for it. I've been sort of fiddling with this idea for 6-8 years. And yes, there are big challenges with proposing new IP to publishers like this, but as our focus was, of course, to prove to these publishers that we could do it, we could actually pull it off. So we have a very convincing vertical slice of it. We're working on the Unreal 3 engine, and we spent 8 months making the vertical slice.
So currently you have a vertical slice. In the process of developing this game, have you made any mistakes? Have you had to go back to the drawing board, and what have you changed?
Oh, yeah. Well, game development is a lot of... Making games is always an approximation of what you really want. Killing your babies is sort of something you have to do every now and then. But it's a good exercise, because you often realize that the things that seem good on paper, that the stuff you sort of experiment with and get the crowd all revved up about, that once we do it, we very quickly find out, well, this is just not fun. And the fun factor is very important, is a key issue. We don't want to be religious about this universe and how things should be understood and perceived and so forth. It needs to be fun to people. It needs to be, people need to understand immediately, oh, it's old-fashioned. I get a lot of guns and I can use the vehicles and I can shoot and I can have fun. I understand how this works. And there's a sort of tongue-in-cheek humor in it. And that's what we aim for.
So you can't name any specific examples of mechanics you stuck in and then had to take out?
Well, yes. Well, things we put in and took out. I'd rather say we put stuff in that we found out, well, in their current form, they're not real that good. So we're just, we need to build on that. For instance, we have a push feature. In the beginning, we thought, oh, that's funny, you can push people around. But no, yeah, to do what? So we tied it in with the story and with the gameplay. Oh, yeah. Since it's a city, a dystopic city, a metropolis with several layers, what if you could push people from one layer down to the bottom maybe of this city, where all the scavengers are? And you could see that, a lot of people would, down there, the dark figures, they would come out from the shadows and they would attack this, and this would be a fun thing. And you could maybe push your enemies, sneak up behind them and push them into these large machines. Now we're onto something. So I think, well, that is, of course, scrapping the original approach to it. But we thought, okay, there's something in it. Let's try and see if we can do something more here. So that's more the approach we have.
So what have you learned as CEO and founder that you didn't know in your previous job on Hitman? What are the lessons you've learned?
Well, the lessons I learned that I had a very nice little office overlooking the harbor in my previous function as a game writer. I was sitting there, with my grand thoughts on how the story should be and fiddling with that and writing into the wee hours of the morning. And now I'm juggling a team of 30 people and, having to check up on the quality and making sure my crew is happy with what they do and they got the right technology. Are they delivering on time? Discussing the projects at a lot of meetings on very different levels. And spreading out across everything, across programming, arts, sound design. Well, it's been an uphill learning process. But thank God I have a dedicated team, and I have a lot of veterans on the team from the industry. We're about 30 people, and 1/3 of that is skilled veterans from the industry now. So that helps me, since we have such a flat hierarchy, flat structure, that we're lifting together. So it's been a challenge, but a very interesting one. And I think, again, that's one of our strengths, that we do it this way.
Is there anything you'd like to add about your game or about starting your own company? We aim at a very cinematic feel for the game, but we want, the games are made to be played, not watched. So we want to avoid cut sequences, for instance. There are very short cut sequences in the game. It should be intuitive what you need to do. You shouldn't be, playing, oh yeah, I got a big shootout here, and then, sit for 5 minutes or something through a dreary cut sequence that sort of tells everything about the story behind and yada yada. So at the same time, we have depth in the story, and we have actually rolled that out in a film treatment that we are circulating. A week ago, we were at the Berlin Film Festival, and we had some tremendous response from some bigwigs there. That really took us aback. It was really, oh, what are we doing now? They want to buy our IP for this. Some famous last words on it. I think the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I think I'll show you the game, because it's a very comprehensive story, and we put a lot of effort into the detail. And I think it'll make a lot more sense if I show you how the story unfolds.